Well, welcome back to the 2018 Men's European Cup. I'm the lovely Beatrix, and joining me on this game is the gorgeous Ankle Biter. We're also joined by Battered Sausage off camera for our production. And doesn't matter how close you try and get sausage. There you go. Just in case you didn't believe us, we're just coming out of the halftime of the Mad Riders New World Order game. New World Order are leading the charge 216 to 92, and it's certainly been a game of strong defense from New World Order. Ankle Biter, they've really been able to control the direction and speed and pace of the pack.
They really have. However, Mad Riders have been giving them a run for their money and just been a very physical team, trying to take advantage of every opportunity they're being given.
So there has been a little bit of penalty trouble for the Mad Riders. Lone Wolf, one of their main jammers, getting into a little bit of a spiral, which kind of helped push New World Order on. However, what I would say more than that is that when we looked at the penalties during half-time, New World Order, all of their players actually on, well, not all of their players, that would be wrong, but some of their players on penalties too or less. So we're not seeing huge spikes of penalties from New World Order. They're keeping it very clean.
Yes, they are, which is definitely helping them with the score that you see right now.
Oh, we are going to get straight back into the action. Lining up for this first jam in the second half, it's Lieutenant Dan up against Killer Manzano. This is a pairing we've seen quite a few times in the first half, Ankle Biter, and as we've seen in the first half, Lieutenant Dan, certainly the stronger of the jammers out on track.
But Killer Manzano makes it out not far behind on his initial pass. Both jammers looking for points here. Lieutenant Dan, though, speeding through, picks up 4 points and goes ahead and calls it off before Killer Manzano can score any.
Certainly the benefit of being in the driving seat and having that lead jammer status bestowed upon you. 4 points picked up for New World Order.
By the Gen Reps. It's like they're knighted with lead jammer status.
I always assumed that's how it happened, so.
I'm not a referee, I wouldn't know.
Coming up to the next jam. It's Fish up against Silencio.
Silencio getting a massive run up there, but not able to do anything with it, whereas Fish just bruises his way through the pack, picks up lead jammer status. Silencio, 2 left to beat up front, manages to do that for his initial pass, looking for points now, but Fish is in control and scoring them.
Well, Fish looks to jump the apex, checks in to find out where Silencio was. He was very aware that Silencio was coming up to scoring opportunities, and so called off the jam. 2 further points picked up by New World Order. Mad Riders still on 0. We are going straight into jam number 3. Lone Wolf against Rufio.
Rufio with a massive hit on Cubo there, but manages to make it out for lead jammer status. Lone Wolf still trying to find some space. Rufio with some fancy footwork, but just not able to do anything with it. Gets knocked out. Has to recycle back there.
Yeah, Rufio saw that inside line free and clear. Went for the run-up, but then just chipped out at the end. Was forced to recycle. This time, though, gets around nice and clean to grab those 5 points, whilst Lone Wolf still in the mix of this pack.
Lone Wolf has stashed the star and actually passed it to Cubo here. So Cubo is now the jammer for the Mad Riders.
And Cubo, we saw in the first half, was the relief jammer of choice the first time round. Not able to grab any points for Mad Riders this time. 9 points picked up for New World Order. Takes their score to 2-3-1, and we're just going to check out this instant replay. And here you see Rufio runs up the inside line, but then obviously just had that little chip out.
Scrimley facing off against Gizmo here. Scrimley working against this tough Mad Riders tripod in the front. Gizmo takes full advantage of Scrimley's holdup. Gets lead jammer status. Scrimley with 1 left to beat manages to make it out on his initial pass. But Gizmo is already coming around for some points here.
Yeah, that was number 83, Anvil or Hammer, who held up Scrimley and did a beautiful job of being super aware of where he was. And once again, we see number 83, Anvil or Hammer, just hanging out at the front of that pack, looking to slow down or stop Scrimley. Meanwhile, at the back of this pack, Gizmo being knocked out and recycled back between turns 1 and 2. Scrimley, though, also knocked out and recycled between 1 or 2.
But Anvil or Hammer picks up a penalty for his troubles there and is headed to the CISO penalty box. But Gizmo's not too worried about it and ducks down around the outside line to pick up 5 full points there. Scrimley just making it out for 4.
Mad Riders have already put up 13 points on the board unopposed by MRD. Certainly a different team in this second half than we saw in the first.
Scrimley trying to duck down around that outside line there, but is hit out by Ra.
Mad Riders now with 2 blockers in the penalty box. Just as I say that, Anvil or Hammer about to return. Scrimley makes it out of the pack to pick up a further 4 points. But we see Gizmo already on another scoring pass. Double digits finally for the Mad Riders in this game and taking them over that 100 mark with this jam. As Scrimley ekes out the space right into turn 4 to grab 4 further points for MRD.
Gizmo thought he found some space there, but that quick reform by the MRD blockers, but then manages to find some space on the inside line, makes it out yet again.
We're just checking in on this replay. You see Gizmo jukes outside, moves inside, inches around. Points, points, points.
Both of these teams' blockers doing a great job at that reform.
They're doing beautiful work.
It is. Proud of them.
So I'm glad you're proud of them. Thanks, Coach. 21 points for the Mad Riders, 12 points for New World Order. 113 plays 2-4-3, so that's a 130-point differential in favor of New World Order. As we dance into this jam, Lieutenant Dan is your lead jammer.
But Killer Manzano is not far behind, but was forced out by Omar Gerd. Omar Gerd having to recycle Killer Manzano back. Killer Manzano stashing the star here. And a pass to Cubo, who is now the jammer for the Mad Riders.
Oh, beautiful work by Cubo on that inside line. Beautiful, but illegal.
I mean, it looked good, though.
It looked fantastic, but that was a track cut penalty assessed to Mad Riders jammer. And so this is now Power Jam in favor of New World Order.
New World Order blockers just doing a great job of providing some offense for Lieutenant Dan there, making it easy for him to get by and pick up 5 points.
And again, just Lieutenant Dan just coming around that outside line. Turn 1, takes it wide. Very little opposition from the Mad Riders blockers. Oh, let's have a look at this replay. See Lieutenant Dan runs up the inside line. And that beautiful footwork that was absolutely illegal from Cubo.
I mean, he jumped that straight away, though.
Well, you
that
see,
was pretty cool.
I'm weak for people that jump straightaways. 20 points picked up by New World Order in that last period of play. Takes them to 2-6-3. Mad Riders on 1-1-3.
Fish wearing the star for MRD. And picks up lead jammer status. Cubo out of the box now. Coming around, makes it through on his initial pass. But Fish goes ahead, calls out the jam before any points can be scored for either team.
Well, you know, New World Order, really all they have to do for the next 22 minutes is preserve their lead. Mad Riders are going to have to pull something exceptional out of their socks if they wish to take the lead in this game. We've got over 153-point differential, and I don't think there's enough socks on the track to be able to do that. So, lining up, Silencio for the Mad Riders, Rufio for New World Order, and it is Rufio, your lead jammer.
Rufio with his high socks, which means high motivation, coming around to score points here. But Silencio is forced out on the outside line, has to recycle back. Rufio, facing up against the last two blockers there, makes it out for 5 points. Silencio forced back by Shroom. Shroom's doing some great recycling work. He cares about the planet, obviously. Great recycling work.
He really does. Rufio able to come round, 5 further points on the board for MRD. And Spencer just hanging. Spencer at the back of the pack. No, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Shroom's hanging out at the back of the pack to catch up with Silencio and keep him at the back of the pack. Huge hit once again as Rufio makes it through for a further 5 points for MRD.
And that was Spencer with that hit. Silencio has stashed the star now and is really trying to make it through.
I knew Spencer was on the track.
He was there.
I knew.
He was there.
Sometimes even if it's not the direct blocker doing the things, they're still doing the things. Anyway, Rufio takes that outside line, but it's a cut track penalty. Not as clean as he thought he was when taking that pathway. So opportunity knocking now for Mad Riders and Silencio. Less than 30 seconds to go of this jam.
But Silencio has passed the star to his pivot, Ra. Ra with the tripod up at the front trying to beat that. Both of these teams very physical, not letting the jammers get any space whatsoever.
You know, Hash returns to track, and I think Mad Riders were hoping that the pack would stretch out and their jammer would have to be let go. However, that doesn't work out for them. And no points are able to be picked up by the Mad Riders. They were not able to capitalize on that power jam in their favor. 20 points on the board for MRD, takes their score. 23 points on the board for MRD. New World Order takes their score to 286. Mad Riders on 113. But the jammer for New World Order still standing in the penalty box, the Sisu mouthguard penalty box. So this will be a power jam start for the Mad Riders. And you might have seen the pivot starting with one toe stop stretched onto the pivot line, ankle biter, whilst almost sitting down on that pivot line.
I thought it was 2011.
Yeah, I was like, woo, woo, in a time machine. Regardless. Gizmo, your lead jammer. Rufio back on track and in play for New World Order.
Rufio hit out to the outside, has to recycle back. Anvil and Hammer doing some great blocking today. Rufio goes ahead and stashes the star. Gizmo facing off against this tough New World Order tripod up front.
Well, Gizmo in the mix, just trying to make some headway here, but there is a crunch of two teams between turns 3 and 4. Gizmo really having to put shoulders and everything else into it.
So Gizmo has stashed the star and passed it to his pivot, Cubo.
Cubo pulling double duty out on track this evening. Gizmo holding out to the back of the pack here. Scooby Zoom just pushing forward on the pack. Meant that all the bodies were hitting the floor in that last period of play, ankle biter.
Now New World Order having some penalty trouble with their blockers, as 3 of them have just been in the penalty box. That's making it easy for the Mad Riders and Cubo to pick up some points here.
Oh, Cubo trying to land that apex jump. Does land it effectively. The crowd are happy with that work. 5 points on the board further for the Mad Riders as jam comes to an end. That was a jam of many faces.
A jam of many faces, many things happening.
Well, let's check out this replay. Find out what's happening as you do. You see the moment that Gizmo was able to pick up lead. 8 points in total picked up by the Mad Riders. 12 points, though, for New World Order. Takes the scores 298 to 121. New World Order now knocking on the door of 300, ankle biter.
Silencio facing off against Lieutenant Dam here. Lieutenant Dam picking up lead jammer status, as he's done many times before, but Silencio with one left to beat up front, but picks up a track cut penalty. This gives Lieutenant Dam and New Wheeled Order a power jam opportunity. Lieutenant Dam juking around, taking that inside line. Picks up 5 full points there. New Wheeled Order trying to hold a blocker at the back, but that is number 83, Anvil Hammer, manages to get by.
And you know, the tripod that Mad Riders are setting up just isn't responsive enough, because we saw as Lieutenant Dan came around on that outside line, and I think that's what we're going to see here right now. Lieutenant Dan coming around on that outside line. You see the tripod being set up by the Mad Riders, but they're just not quick enough in their lateral push to be able to capture and push off Lieutenant Dan.
And Lieutenant Dam just able to get so low just to shrug off any hit that may or may not have happened there.
And that's borne out in a 15-point jam for New World Order, which takes them to the 3-1-3 mark. Mad Riders on 1-2-1. Scrimmely, your lead jammer. Silencio just about looking to exit the pack, almost half a lap, nearly a full lap behind Scrimmely.
Silencio with some great footwork there, using his toe stops to get through, to get out on that initial pass, but Scrimmely has already picked up 4 points there.
Well, Mad Rider with penalty trouble as 2 blockers sit in the penalty box. Certainly not what you want for Scrimmely. However, Scrimmely gets a blocking with a head penalty, so this will now be power jam in favor of the Mad Riders.
So Silencio waiting for some help from his blockers there, and just trying to take advantage of it, but actually picks up a track cut penalty, so a little jammer musical chairs.
It's not my favorite party game. Scrimmely returns to play, but so does one of the Mad Rider blockers, so help does come in terms of defensive work for the Mad Riders. Scrimmely takes no notice though, powering into the 2-wall. Taken to the outside. Scrimmely just keeps on pushing. Number 44, Cubo, was not letting him get past very easily at all there.
Silencio released from the penalty box, takes off the star. Trying to stash that, get out.
Well, Scrimmely has been caught this time by the blockers of Mad Riders. Pushed back and recycled. Has given Silencio opportunities to grab points. 2 on the board already, 3 on the board, 2 on the board already for the Mad Riders. Silencio certainly looking to improve that now, as Scrimmely just checks in to see what the bench wants to do and calls the jam dead. Oh, let's have a look at this instant replay here. You can see Scrimmely just fast feet all the way, but it is number 44, Cubo, with the slowdown. However, you cannot stop a jammer like Scrimmely.
Jammers this weekend have been so great at just shrugging off any hits that come their way, making the blockers really work to like land those hits effectively.
It's just like the shimmy in the blocks off. You know shimmying? Do you know that?
The shimmy?
Do you know how to shimmy?
No.
Oh. Then you can never jam.
Never.
Like the Mad Riders and New World Order jammers.
Maybe one day I'll learn. One day.
Not that I know anything about jamming or shimmying. 3-2-5 plays 1-2-7. We've got 13 minutes 30 just under left of this second half. It is the second to last game here on day 1 of the 2018 Men's European Cup.
The pre-finale of day 1.
I'm sure that it's called a... Oh, it's gone. I'm sure it's called something else.
I mean, we'll think of it. We'll get
I'm
a
sure it's
dictionary.
penultimate.
But there's a library up there, actually. We can go grab a dictionary.
That won't help the people who are watching this on YouTube at home.
It won't. They
So
can leave a comment.
Team timeout. Yeah, leave a like. Team timeout is coming to an end. Jammers back on track. Lomel for Mad Riders. LT Dan for the New World Order. And bodies hitting the floor at turn 1. But LT Dan able to grab lead. Stops for a moment, though, All eyes focused on Mad Rider's Lone Wolf. And LT Down was looking a little bit hungry for some jammer to jammer action.
Lieutenant Dam getting some help from those New World Order blockers, providing a great screen there to give him an easy lane on the outside to make those points. Lone Wolf trying to fight through 2 left to beat up at the front. New World Order blockers being called out of play.
And LT Down decides to call off that jam ankle biter. 8 points picked up by New World Order. 4 points for Mad Riders.
I can't talk today. I apologize.
3-3-3 for MRD. Plays 1-3-1 for the Mad Riders. 12 minutes 12 left on the clock as we line up for jam number 11. And that does look like 0-5. Fish with the star for New World Order. Coming up against Killer Manzano for Mad Riders. Fish pushing forward, swims through the pack, picks up lead.
So, Killer Manzano forced to recycle back while Fish is coming through to pick up points. And Killer Manzano makes it out on his initial pass. Fish looking to his bench for some direction, gets told to keep running it.
Just keep going. Killer Manzano pushing through, just going to keep going, but Fish keeps on swimming through that pack once again. 4 further points picked up for MRD's New World Order. As Killer Manzano jumps a little bit of the apex / straightaway, picking up 4 points along the way for the Mad Riders.
But Fish goes ahead and calls off the jam before any more points can be picked up by the Mad Riders. That brings Mad Riders' total to 135, MRD's total to 346.
So that's like a 211 point difference.
Quick maths.
I'm trying. 10 minutes 45 left on this clock. Not like the clock of life, don't worry, you're all okay. Just the clock of this game. It's Rufio with the star for New World Order coming up against Gizmo for Mad Riders.
So
Gizmo taken all the way back between turns 3 and 4 as Rufio pushes forward. No pass, no point, no penalty. However, so they are not lead jammer. That is still an open space available for the Mad Riders to fill. Rufio will not wait any longer, though. 5 points on the board already.
And Gizmo makes it through on his initial pass, while Rufio is looking to pick up a few more points. Rufio with some great track awareness goes ahead. Waits a bit before stepping back on track. Recycles back.
Just takes a pause, you might say.
Yeah.
Oh, Gizmo also been knocked down, recycle back. So all the action going backwards right now. Close up to pivot line. Gizmo makes it out. First of all, got to just get past the juking of Bosch. Does not successfully complete that level. Returns back to the start. Gizmo recycled once again between turns 2 and 3 on that straightaway, whilst Fish decides it's time to call off the jam. Let's see what the damage was done to the points there.
So MRD picked up 9 points there, while Mad Riders picked up 3. That brings Mad Riders' total to 138, MRD's total to 355, with 8 minutes and 50 seconds left in this period.
In this game.
In this game, it is.
It is.
It is the second half. So Scrimley facing off against Silencio here. Silencio looking for some space, tries to get through on that inside line, and manages to do just that with a nice little spin move.
That
Makes
was
it look easy.
That was really lovely footwork.
Yeah, it was. Scrimley still trying to find some space, but goes ahead and passes the star to number 100, Alien Al.
Alien L wasting no time at all here. Beautiful footwork on display in this jam. Appreciation from his teammates on the bench. Alien L spins and turns like a spinning top to grab 4 points for New World Order. Silencio still in the mix. See space on the outside and a fabulous duck. Shoulder down to shrug off the advances of the New World Order blockers.
Alien Owl hit out by Hachi on the outside line.
Well, Silencio just taking a bit of a fall there and actually making contact with his face. Let's just check out that instant replay. You can see where that happened. He was carrying so much speed into turn 2. So much speed into turn 2, Ankle Biter. Came in, was touched just a small amount by one of the MRD blockers. And that just threw off his balance, which meant as the speed came, the ankle went forward, all the way up, went onto his heel, and that was the tip and turn. Skating lessons there for you.
But the play-by-play of a fall.
Honestly.
By the lovely Beatrix.
So talented. We are back to it, 7.5 minutes left. It is Killer Manzano. And Killer Manzano, your lead jammer.
But Lieutenant Dam hot on his heels. Lieutenant Dam actually taking full advantage, hitting Killer Manzano out. But Killer Manzano back up and at him.
Well, I gotta say, this jam must have just ruined Lieutenant Dan's 100% lead jammer rate. That's what I'm assuming without any stats in front of me. Because I don't recall a point in this game so far where Lieutenant Dan hasn't had lead jammer straight off the bat.
Lieutenant Dam has been a huge part of MRDA's 368 point total there.
Well, and it continues. 6 minutes 30 left on the clock. Still over a minute left of this jam. Lieutenant Dan puts up further points. Well, Killer Manzano still in the mix. Ankle Biter for the Mad Riders. Finally seeing daylight at the top. Squishes past Shrooms.
But is knocked out on the inside line. Goes ahead and calls off the jam.
Whilst I believe in running jams long when you're this far behind, I'm not sure they needed to run it 12 points long. Here you can see
that jammer speed right there. It's a little jammer on jammer. Hitting, blocking.
Yes, that's what it's called, blocking.
Blocking.
6 minutes left of this second half. Mad Riders 150. MRD New World Order 376. And it is Fish with the star coming up against Lone Wolf, but Fish, your lead jammer.
Lone Wolf trying to find some space anywhere.
I think Mad Rider's pivot was really asking for the star, but his advances were refused by Lone Wolf. Gets it that time, though. The message finally reached Lone Wolf.
So Cubo taking the star for the Mad Riders, but the jam is called off before Cubo can score any points.
And you can see in the replay here, Cubo in a great position to grab that star, but has to move out as Fish came into play to try and slow or stop him down. So 5 points picked up by New World Order, takes their score to 381. Mad Riders sitting at 150.
Rufio facing off against Gizmo here. Gizmo trying to juke around. Two blockers to beat up front. Rufio forced out on the inside by Ra. Ra doing some great defensive work there.
I tell you, so is Bosch, though. Bosch absolutely all over Gizmo. Forces out between turns 1 and 2. Makes that recycle happen. Gizmo having to try again with the Tripod of Doom from New World Order.
But Rufio picked up a penalty there, so is sitting in the penalty box. Mad Riders with a penalty, with a power jam, super jam.
Penalty opportunity, if you will.
Penalty opportunity.
Gizmo tests the inside line. And isn't able to really capitalize, but does pick up 2 further points. So takes the Mad Riders score up to 1-5-2. New World Order sitting at 3-8-1. 3 minutes 40 left of this game.
New World Order coach coming in, just having a little chat with the referees, trying to get some clarification there. Scrimmely facing off against Killer Manzano, and Killer Manzano running up the inside line, picking up lead jammer status. Scrimmely with the star pass.
That is to Scooby Zoom, 747. And you know, Killer Manzano already coming in for his scoring pass. Huge hit out, though, by number 9, Velociraptor. And again, joined by 100 Alien Al. Just making this pass pretty difficult, near impossible, in fact, for Killer Manzano. While Scooby takes the inside, takes it outside, moves back inside, trying to avoid Cubo, but gets on through to grab points.
Killer Manzano forced out on the inside, has to recycle back. But so does Scooby Zoom.
Yeah, that was thanks to Cubo and one of those smart little tap outs.
Scrimmely doing great work to hold Killer Manzano, but is forced out of play. Killer Manzano picking up 4 points there.
Well, Scooby with a further 5 for New World Order.
Scooby juking to the outside. 1 left to beat, and that's Cubo. Manages to do just that, picks up 4 points there. Killer Manzano tries to find some space on the inside, but is forced out. Goes ahead and calls off the jam there.
So 4 points in total picked up by Mad Riders. 13 points for New World Order. I'm sorry, 7 points in total for the Mad Riders. 159 plays 394. And you saw in the replay that fantastic star pass to Scooby Zoom. And that's really what helped make the difference and grab those points for MRD in this last jam.
Now you're seeing our wonderful fans out there. If you're watching this and you have some free time tomorrow and you're in Newcastle, come on out.
Or drive to Newcastle.
Drive to
Where's
Newcastle.
your commitment?
Yeah.
The fan base obviously a little bit depleted as we did start super early this morning.
Very
Game
early.
1 was 8 a.m. So some of these folks have been here absolutely all day.
Yes. Sold a lot of coffee, though.
Yeah,
so.
well, swings and roundabouts. 394 plays 159. We've got 1 minute 56 left of the period clock. Mad Riders taking a team timeout. And time for us to just say thank you very much to RollerDerbyCity.com, sponsors of this amazing Men's European Cup 2018 tournament. Team timeout looks like it's coming to an end. Interestingly, New World Order haven't used a timeout at all, nor an official review.
Lieutenant Dam picks up lead jammer status while Gizmo is still stuck in the pack. Lieutenant Dam coming around for points while Gizmo is trying to find a way out, but Omar Gerd is making that difficult. Gizmo gets a little help, though, from Shinigami.
Lieutenant Dan coming in on another scoring pass. Runs around turns 1 and 2. Once again, pretty much unopposed by the Mad Riders blockers.
Gizmo getting some help from Ra there. Ra screening those MRD blockers so Gizmo can get by without being touched.
Oh, points on the board for both teams right now. 4 for Mad Riders, 9 for MRD. Lieutenant Dan with that awesome pass there. Able to just completely neutralize the defenses of the Mad Riders.
Gizmo with a little juke around. And Lieutenant Dam doing the same thing, finding space on the outside line, picks up 4 points. Gizmo forced out to the outside, has to recycle back.
Well, MRD really doing a great job of building that braced 3-wall, dropping it back to a truck and trailer when they need to just pick up the jammer from the opposing team and direct him to wherever they want to be.
And Gizmo has passed the star to Ra, which means Ra will be your jammer for Mad Riders. Lieutenant Dam Coming around and picking up 5 points now, though.
I feel like he's collecting all his checks. Cashing out all his receipts here as we get into the final seconds of the period clock.
And Ra has picked up a track cut penalty, which means that Lieutenant Dam and New Wheeled Order will have a power jam to start the next jam.
But I don't think there will be a next jam.
Is there not a next? It's the end of the game. That went so fast.
Let's just check out this instant replay. It doesn't have to end so soon. There you see
great.
that beautiful apex jump. I think this game as a whole can be defined by the apex jumps that we saw in it.
Yes, they were amazing.
Yes.
They were absolutely amazing.
Thanks for that insight and knowledge. So we're just waiting for that score to become official, Ankle Biter. But I think we can officially say already that the winning team is New World Order.
Yes. Both these teams putting up a very physical fight, but putting up a great game of roller derby.
Absolutely. And, you know, it was the Mad Riders' second game here today, which does make a difference. They played earlier this morning. They played the 10 a.m. game and then have had to wait around all day. I mean, I'm sure they were happy to wait around. It wasn't like when you go to IKEA and you have to wait for something. It wasn't like that.
No.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. Hang out in the cafeteria for a while.
Eat some meatballs.
Yeah.
It was not like that. I'm sure they were really happy to be here. But MRD, New World Order, obviously a very strong team, dominating from the get-go here today with that great range of jamming talent as well as blockers that could apparently read their jammers' minds.
Yes. That's all the best blockers can do that.
So your final score is Mad Riders 169, New World Order 424. We're going to say goodbye for a little while right now, as the final game for today will be on track shortly. I've been the lovely Beatrix.
I've been your friendly neighborhood ankle biter.
And we've had Battered Sausage on production. Team Glam Fringe forever.